Listen, breathe for a second, because I'm about to talk to the version of you that keeps smiling in public like nothing's wrong, while your body is quietly screaming behind the curtain. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. You walked into that clinic thinking it was just a checkup, just numbers, just paper, just a routine little poke. But then you saw it, that pause, that tiny delay that lasts 1 second too long, and suddenly the air changes. The nurse gets quiet. The doctor stops doing that fake calm voice. They look at your chart, then they look at you, then they look back at the chart like it's lying to them, and you hear it, not even meant for you. A whisper, "How are you still standing?" And in that moment, your whole life flashes differently, because you already knew something was off. You've been knowing, you've been waking up tired, not "I need coffee" tired. I'm talking about my soul feels heavy, tired. You've been moving through days like you're wearing a backpack full of bricks, telling everybody you're fine because you don't want the pity, and you don't want the lectures, and you don't want the look. That look people give you when they think you're fragile. So you just keep going, and that doctor's whisper, it didn't shock you as much as it should have, because your body's been whispering it for years, and you didn't listen. No, don't flinch. Don't turn this into a sad story. This isn't a funeral speech. This is a theft. I'm here to steal back something you've been robbed of. Your fire, your respect for yourself, your refusal to collapse. Because if a trained professional, someone who's seen all kinds of disaster in human form, looks at your blood and goes quiet, it means something. It means you have been surviving on pure will, not luck, not blessings, not some cute, everything happens for a reason, quote, you scroll past. Will. You've been running on fumes, and you still showed up. You still paid bills. You still answered calls. You still carried people who wouldn't carry you. You still held it together while everyone else fell apart over things you handle every day like it's normal. And that whisper was the truth leaking out. The truth is you're not fine. You're forged, but you've been acting like you're just tired. Let me ask you something. How many times have you sat in your room at night, phone in your hand, staring at nothing, feeling everything, and telling yourself, just make it to tomorrow? How many times have you swallowed your anger because you didn't want to be too much? How many times have you felt your chest tight, not from exercise, but from holding in words you deserved to say? How many times have you laughed in a group while your mind was somewhere else, somewhere dark, somewhere honest? You didn't just survive stress. You survived betrayal. You survived disappointment that came dressed like love. You survived people promising you the world and handing you a receipt for pain, and you're still standing. That's not normal. That's terrifying. To the weak, to the careless, to the ones who thought you'd fold the first time life pressed down. And here's the part nobody says out loud. Some people don't want you healthy, not because they're evil in a cartoon way, no, because your sickness makes them comfortable. Your exhaustion keeps you quiet. Your self-doubt keeps you obedient. Your "I'm okay" keeps them from being held accountable. You being half alive keeps them in control. Because the moment you're fully awake, fully charged, fully done with everyone's nonsense, you're dangerous. So they call you dramatic. They call you intense. They call you cold. They call you complicated. Nah, you're just not easy to manipulate anymore. And that blood test, listen to me, That blood test is a receipt of everything you endured, every sleepless night, every time you skipped meals because your mind was eating itself, every time you smiled through disrespect, every time you stayed when you should have left, every time you begged the universe for a break and got another round instead. Your blood remembers, your body keeps score, and that doctor whispering, that's not just about medical numbers, that's a spiritual audit. It's your life saying, look what you've been doing to yourself. Now, here's your first hook. If you can survive what's in your blood, imagine what you could do if you stopped bleeding for people who don't deserve a single drop. Yeah. Imagine the damage you could do, in the best way, if you stopped handing your energy to clowns who keep you tired. Because I need you to understand something that might sting. You've been treating your strength like a free trial. Everybody gets access, everybody gets benefits, everybody gets the best of you. And what do you get? A seen message, a weak apology, a last-minute invite, a half-love, a maybe, a you're overthinking. No, you're not overthinking. You're finally thinking, and it scares them. Because you've been the quiet one for so long that people started confusing your silence with permission. They started thinking you wouldn't bite back. They started thinking you don't notice. But you notice everything. You just don't always react. And your body has been reacting for you. Headaches, tight jaw, back pain, random fatigue, mood swings you blame on stress. That's not random. That's your nervous system waving a red flag like, hey, we're not safe. Not safe around certain people. Not safe in certain rooms. Not safe in certain conversations where you shrink yourself to keep the peace. Let me tell you what that whisper actually means. How are you still standing? It means you've been dying in pieces and still showing up whole. That's not a compliment. That's an alarm. So here's the threat you need. Yeah, I said threat. If you keep living like this, you'll survive everybody else's storms and drown in your own. You'll keep saving everyone. And eventually you'll become someone people visit in regret. They'll post you with a caption like, I wish I checked on them more. And you'll be sitting somewhere, wherever souls go, laughing like, you checked on me, you just didn't listen. No, we're not doing that. Not with you. Not after you've already proven you're a walking miracle with teeth. So listen close. Your comeback starts with honesty. Not the cute honesty you post online. I'm talking brutal honesty. The kind where you look in the mirror and say, I'm tired of living like I'm disposable. I'm tired of being the strong one for everybody. I'm tired of pretending I don't need rest. I'm tired of apologizing for having boundaries. Because boundaries aren't selfish. Boundaries are life support. Boundaries are the IV drip for your soul. And you've been walking around with no protection, letting people inject their chaos straight into your veins. No wonder your blood looks like war. No wonder your doctor whispered, you've been at war, and you've been acting like it's just a busy week. Let's get even more real. Sometimes you don't want to heal, because healing means you have to admit who hurt you. Healing means you can't keep calling them misunderstood. Healing means you have to stop protecting the people who damaged you. Healing means you have to accept that some of your pain came from someone you loved. And that hurts in a different way. That hurts like betrayal with a familiar face. So you choose to stay sick, not physically, mentally, emotionally, because at least sickness keeps the story consistent. At least sickness keeps you from making the hard choices. and I get it. Because healing is loud. Healing changes your friends list. Healing changes your tolerance. Healing changes what you laugh at. Healing changes what you allow. Healing makes you stop replying. Healing makes you walk away mid-conversation. Healing makes you say no without an essay. And people hate that. They don't hate you. They hate losing access. They hate the version of you they could disrespect. They hate the version of you that over-explained. They hate the version of you that begged. They hate losing the old you. Good. Let them miss the old you. The old you was bleeding out to keep everyone warm. Now, here comes your reward. If you flip this, if you actually flip this, your life starts feeling like yours again. You wake up and your chest isn't heavy. You start walking into rooms and you don't scan for approval. You start saying what you mean. You start moving like you're not asking for permission to exist. And the funniest part, people will suddenly respect you. Not because you got nicer, because you got clearer, because you got colder with your boundaries and warmer with your goals, because you stopped negotiating your worth. Let me say it in a way your nervous system will understand. Your body doesn't want more motivation. It wants safety. Safety from chaos. Safety from emotional vampires. Safety from being the dumping ground. So if your blood test made a doctor whisper, then let your next chapter make people whisper too. But for a different reason. Let them whisper they changed. Let them whisper they don't play anymore. Let them whisper they're not the same. Because you're not. You've been reborn in slow motion. Every heartbreak was a scalpel. Every betrayal was a lesson. Every sleepless night was a training session. And you didn't just learn how to endure. You learned how to read people. You learned patterns. You learned the difference between love and convenience. You learned who claps for you and who claps for your downfall. And you learned something even more important. You can't keep sacrificing yourself for a world that only notices you when you're collapsing. So here's the next hook. What if the reason you're still standing is because you're not allowed to quit until you become the person you were meant to be? Yeah. What if your survival isn't random? What if it's a warning to the people who mistreated you? What if it's proof that every time they tried to bury you, they planted you? Because you don't look like a victim. You look like unfinished revenge. Not revenge like violence. Revenge like elevation. Revenge like discipline. Revenge like success that makes them choke on their opinions. Revenge like peace they can't reach you in. Let's talk about your habits. Because your blood doesn't just reflect what happened to you. It reflects what you keep choosing. You keep choosing late nights scrolling. You keep choosing to respond to people who drain you. You keep choosing chaos because calm feels unfamiliar. You keep choosing to postpone your own needs. You keep treating your body like a rental car. Drive it hard. Ignore the dashboard lights. Act surprised when it starts breaking down. No, not anymore. From now on, you move like someone who knows their value. And value doesn't come from affirmations. Value comes from standards. So here are your standards, and you're going to feel them like punches. You don't argue with disrespect. You remove access. You don't chase closure. You chase clarity. You don't beg for love. You build a life that attracts it. You don't explain boundaries to people who benefit from you having none. And if they call you different, smile. Because different is the whole point. Because the old you nearly died being nice. Now, I want you to think about the moment the doctor whispered again. Picture it. You're sitting there, that paper, those numbers, and you realizing, I've been surviving something nobody sees. That moment can either break you or brand you. It can either scare you into shrinking or scare you into finally taking your life seriously. Because if your body is holding on this hard, then you owe it a new environment. You owe it new people, new routines, new boundaries, new decisions. You owe it rest that doesn't feel guilty. You owe it food that isn't just survival. You owe it movement that isn't punishment. You owe it sunlight. You owe it silence. You owe it the freedom of not always being reachable. Because you are not an emergency contact for everybody's chaos. You're a human being, and you've been acting like a machine. Machines don't cry. Machines don't need love. Machines don't get overwhelmed, but you do. And that's not weakness. That's proof you're alive. And here's another hook. Listen, the strongest people don't break because they're weak. They break because they stay strong too long. They keep taking hits. They keep handling it. They keep telling themselves, one more day, until their body finally says, no. So you're going to stop waiting for a breakdown to justify a change. You're going to change because you're smart, because you're tired of learning lessons the hard way, because you're tired of people only respecting you when you're about to lose it. So let's make this practical, real life. Starting today, you do 3 things. First, cut the noise. That means fewer conversations with people who always have drama. That means fewer late-night spirals. That means less doom scrolling that turns your brain into a war zone. Second, feed your body like it's your ally, not your enemy. Water, real food, sleep, not perfection, not some influencer routine, just consistent care. Third, protect your mind like it's a loaded weapon, because it is. Your mind can build empires or dig graves, and if your mind is always in survival mode, it's not going to create, it's going to defend. That's why you can't focus. That's why your motivation disappears. That's why you start things and don't finish. You're not lazy, you're overloaded, and the people around you, some of them benefit from you being overloaded because an exhausted you is easier to control. An exhausted you doesn't ask questions. An exhausted you accepts crumbs. An exhausted you stays quiet. But an energized you looks people in the eye. An energized you says, no. An energized you walks away from disrespect like it's nothing. An energized you starts winning and doesn't apologize for it. So let's talk about the dark part. The part you don't say out loud. The part you keep buried. You've thought about giving up. Not always in a dramatic way. Sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it's just, you're not caring anymore. You stop replying. You stop dreaming. You stop trying. You exist. That's it. And you call it being realistic. Nah, that's a slow surrender. And you didn't survive all that to surrender quietly. So here's what I want you to do the next time life hits you in the chest. The next time you feel that familiar heaviness, you're going to talk to yourself like you're the only person who can save you. Because you are. You're going to say, they don't get to take me out. Not after all that. Not after everything I endured. Not when I'm this close. Because you are close. You don't feel it because you're tired, but you're close. Close to a breakthrough. Close to a new identity. Close to a version of you that doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't fold. And the people who used to underestimate you, they're going to feel it first. They're going to feel the distance, They're going to feel the silence. They're going to feel you no longer reacting. They're going to feel you no longer trying to convince them. And it's going to mess with them because they were used to you being available, used to you being forgiving, used to you being the bigger person. You can still be the bigger person, just not the bigger target. And that's the difference. Now another hook. What if the doctor whispering wasn't fear? What if it was respect? What if it was them realizing they're looking at someone who has been through hell and came back with receipts? Because your blood doesn't just carry oxygen. It carries your story. It carries the nights you thought you wouldn't make it. It carries the mornings you got up anyway. It carries the times you smiled for someone else's comfort while you were falling apart. And you're still standing. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer it with your chest. If you can survive that, why are you still letting small people make you feel small? Why are you still letting their opinions steer your life? Why are you still waiting for them to approve of your growth? They don't want you to grow, because if you grow, you outgrow them, and they know it. So they keep you in a box. They call it humbling you. They call it keeping you grounded. They call it being honest. No, they're scared. Scared you'll realize you were never hard to love. You were just surrounded by people who didn't know how to treat a rare thing. So now you treat yourself like you're rare. You move like your life matters, because it does. And you don't need anyone to validate that. From this moment forward, you stop living like you're trying to prove you deserve to exist. You already exist. You already survived. You've already done the impossible. Now you live like a person who knows they're not easy to replace. Because you're not. There's only one you. One mind like yours. One heart like yours. One set of scars that turned into armor. And you're going to start using that armor the right way. Not to block love. To block nonsense. Not to push away the good. To push away the draining. Not to become cold. To become untouchable by disrespect. And when you start moving like that, your whole life changes. People speak to you differently. Opportunities find you differently. Your confidence returns like it was waiting for you to stop doubting it. Your focus sharpens. Your voice gets louder. Your eyes stop apologizing, because you're not here to be liked. You're here to be free. And I want you to remember the whisper, not as a fear, as proof. Proof that you've been carrying too much. Proof that you've been surviving in silence. Proof that you're stronger than you think. And proof that if you can keep standing while your blood looks like a battlefield, then the next time someone tries to break you with words, with disrespect, with manipulation, with doubt, you're going to look at them like they're funny. Because compared to what you've already survived, they're nothing. And now, you're going to start acting like it. You're going to stop wasting time explaining your worth. You're going to stop trying to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you. You're going to stop trading your peace for temporary connection. You're going to stop saying, "It's fine," when it's not. And you're going to start choosing yourself in a way that feels unfamiliar, maybe even uncomfortable, because you've spent so long choosing everyone else. And yeah, at first, it's going to feel wrong, because you're used to being the one who sacrifices. You're used to being the one who stays. You're used to being the one who forgives. But you're going to learn something powerful. You can forgive someone and still never let them touch your life again. You can love someone and still walk away. You can miss someone and still choose peace. That's maturity. That's power. That's you finally taking your life back. So the next time you feel weak, the next time you feel tired, the next time you feel like quitting, I want you to hear that doctor's whisper again. How are you still standing? And I want you to answer it, not with words, with action, with discipline, with boundaries, with a life that looks like you finally stopped bleeding for people who were never worth the stain, with a routine that heals you, with choices that protect you, with a mindset that doesn't negotiate with self-doubt, because you weren't built to collapse quietly. You were built to rise loud. You were built to become the problem for every obstacle in your way. You were built to take everything they tried to ruin you with and turn it into fuel. And once you realize that, once you truly realize that, you stop asking, why me? And you start saying, try me.